Hello, everyone. Welcome to Investor Education Series from the Pakistan Institute for Corporate Governance. My name is Talha bin Hamid, and I'm working as the Head of Director and Training Development at the PICG. Today, let's learn about conflict of interest. We will learn about the definition of conflict of interest, its types, and how it should be communicated to the stakeholders. A conflict of interest occurs when someone is in a situation where their personal interests clash with their professional or ethical responsibilities. Here are two everyday examples to help illustrate this concept. The real estate agent and the buyer. Imagine a real estate agent who represents both the seller and the buyer in a home sale. The agent's duty is to get the best deal for their clients. However, if the agent stands to earn a higher commission by pushing the sale through quickly, they might prioritize their own financial gain over the buyer's best interest. This conflict between their duty to both parties can harm the buyer. Or take a doctor and the pharmaceutical company. Suppose a doctor received gifts or payments from a pharmaceutical company that manufactures a specific drug. Now, when prescribing medications to patients, the doctor might be influenced by this relationship. They could recommend the drug from the company they have ties with, even if there's a better alternative available. This conflict jeopardizes the patient's well-being. In both cases, conflicting interests create a dilemma where someone must balance their personal gain against their professional obligations. Recognizing and managing these conflicts is essential for maintaining trust and fairness in various fields, whether it's business, medicine, or any other profession. Here are a few more examples of conflict of interest. You may want to pause the video to go over them in detail and maybe discuss them with a colleague. For example, position of authority in two organizations. Imagine a person who holds a high-ranking position in company A and also serves on the board of directors for company B. The conflict is that their decisions in company A might impact company B, creating a conflict of interest. The conclusion is that investors should be aware of such dual roles and assess whether the person's actions benefit both companies fairly or favor one over the other. Or here's another example. Employee with a side business. An employee works full-time for company X, but also runs a side business independently. In this case, the employee's loyalty and time may be divided between their job and their personal venture. What's the conclusion? The conclusion for investor or stakeholders is that they should consider whether this split focus affect the employee's commitment to the company X and its success. In both cases, such consideration can only occur when the employee or the director discloses this conflict of interest. So we learned that the first step of addressing a conflict of interest is full and legal disclosure of any such situation. So if a director detects a possible conflict of interest, what can they do? First, interested director cannot take part in any discussion. They cannot vote or be included in the quorum for the meeting where this conflict is being discussed. For directors of listed company, they can't even be present in the meeting while the matter is being discussed. If majority of directors are interested in any contract or arrangement, the matter must be taken to the general meeting of members, which can be an annual general meeting or an extraordinary general meeting. As per law, what must a director disclose? In the case of a contract or arrangement, the board meeting at which entering the contract or arrangement is to be discussed, or if the director's interest arose after that, at the first board meeting after he becomes concerned or interested, they should be disclosing this interest. In the case of any other contract or arrangement, at the first board meeting after the director becomes concerned or interested, it should be discussed. A director can also give a general notice of interest, and a general notice expires at the end of each financial year but can be renewed. Many companies do this as a matter of best practice. They circulate a letter inviting disclosure of interest to all directors and employees so that each and every member or employee of a company has an opportunity to legally and transparently disclose a conflict of interest. Hope that this discussion on conflict of interest helped us learn more about how to perform our duties as directors and employees of a company with greater transparency and responsibility. Thank you so much.